They're like, you have 3 things that you like to say, right, Steepy?
Cheese. Farming.
And you're out of practice.
Yeah.
I don't live on a farm though.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. How do you
Well,
even
not anymore.
know?
We don't have farms over in western Washington.
Huh?
We don't have farms in western Washington.
Not all of Wisconsin is farms either. I live in Milwaukee. Or
Milwaukee?
lived in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. What other places are in Wisconsin?
Sheboygan, Oconomowoc. Sheboygan. Say it.
Cheese Town.
Let's get it! One day! Because nobody can block me.
I'm bullhorning that. How's that bruise on your chest?
How's that bruise on your chest?
I mean, I know it fits in, but I'm just saying.
Hey, 1 for 2 is 50%. You're
How's that
failing.
bruise on your chest?
Was it Jamin? Who else did it? Nobody. Exactly. Exactly. Stop. You still with me, boy?
Oh yeah, JJ yelled on the backside.
Wide open. Wide open. Wide open.
Beat him up, ball.
He didn't beat me up. Guarantee I caught more passes than you ever would.
Come on. Break Connecticut hot, one-on-one.
Break. Come on, guy. You may seem like you was Lori got out here.
Inside, Toby.
He can't. He can't. Look. He's running away.
Hey.
Stop.
Run. Got him. Good job, big kid. Looks like you're trying to go neon Dion high stepping on him.
I was thinking about doing something. I was like, nah, I'd rather not.
That's probably a good
Change
idea.
this to doubles, coach.
Okay. Did you get that on video?
Oh. I'm sure the LCC coaches won't be too happy with if you blow it out.
Yeah, probably.
Fight
Seeing
pressure.
Jamin run at you full
Fight
speed
back
is
across.
very scary. Even if you know he's not going to get you, it's
You
still
don't wanna
scary.
be-
No.
That's a lot of man coming at you.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing that you have to key on for them for this upcoming game?
As far as defensive, they got a couple speedy receivers, and the quarterback likes to get loose. He's kind of like Hunter, actually, but just not elusive. But he's super fast. Pull your pants up. Pull your drawers up. I didn't see that part. Pull them up. I told you stop eating McDonald's because your booty's getting big. You're stupid with one big ass.
Yeah, stupid dick.
In Milwaukee, like downtown, are there as many cheese stores as there are Starbucks in Seattle?
We don't have cheese stores on every corner in
Not
Milwaukee.
really every corner.
We don't even have them in Milwaukee.
What do you mean?
We don't just have stores that just sell cheese.
Well, like, yeah, like, there's gotta be stores that like sell cheese and other stuff. Besides a grocery store.
No. I mean, like,
Like
family, like,
Wisconsin's famous
butcher
cheese.
block that, like, they, like,
Yeah.
make their own meat.
Is there a lot of those?
Yeah.
See, she hesitated to answer. That means yes.
Thank you for a second. But still, it's not like like a McDonald's on every corner that we just have cheese sold here. Like, no. I mean, maybe
what
like
is there,
cheese heads for the Green Bay Packers, but
It's the same thing as cheese.
no, you can't
Basically.
eat that.
Whoa. It's cheese.
I'm trying to think what you have out
You
here.
have cheese head at home? I feel like you. No, hold on.
She
I feel
does.
like you're the
She
type of person
does.
to have a cheese head hung up on your wall.
No, we have it in our basement. When my dad was a Packer fan, my dad's a Brett Favre fan. So we have his Vikings jersey.
Hey, break down.
No, I don't have a cheese head on my wall.
But you do have one.
At home, like back in Wisconsin. Not here.
She
But I
also
do have
told
a
me
brick
she
of
eats
cheese.
cheese like every day. Wait, you said what?
I do have a brick of cheese in my fridge.
See?
Okay, it's like
And
not.
apparently there's also different types of cheeses. Like, obviously, like I knew like there's like different types of cheddar cheese. Am I right? You say
Uh-huh.
that? Yeah.
There's cheddar, there's sharp cheddar, there's extra cheddar, there's medium cheddar.
So cheddar.
No, they all taste different.
So when I go to like Subway, can I
Well,
get
okay.
some? Can I get some sharp cheddar
Okay,
cheese?
they're not gonna have it at Subway, but you can go to the grocery store. Look, next time. There'll be different kinds of cheddar. The sharp cheddar will be more orange than the medium cheddar. And it will taste different. The sharp cheddar's the best. Oh my gosh.
Coach Orange said not to. Y'all get calm, we run because you, oh my god. It's about to make us run, bro. Y'all ready? Let's go. Let's go, let's go! Let's go, bring it in tight! Bring it in tight, let's go! Are we rotating? I don't know, but let's go. Let's rotate. Let's go, let's go. One!
One's in.
Stay over on the other hash. Stay on the other hash. You got something to say?
Okay, I see his condition right now.
Nope. He just got out of the pocket, dude.
Hunter, you're not 18. This is just like
What are you talking about?
No, he gets it. He gets it.
Who's 18?
Huh?
Who's 18?
Coach, he gets it.
Who's 18?
He gets it.
I want to know who it is.
Oh, it's okay.
Because you don't even know what you're saying.
He gets it.
What's he
gets
get?
it.
What's he get?
He gets it.
What's he saying?
Go in the huddle. Good
Yeah,
boy.
exactly.
Good
Shut
boy.
up.
Hey, that's why you cheat on your test today.
Jamie, Jamie,
Wow, you cheat on your
Jamie.
vocabulary test?
did I cheat on a test?
What? Everybody cheats on it.
Shut up, boy.
I'm telling your mom you cussed earlier too, so don't think I won't. Just saying. I'm saying you cussed on Xbox to my son too.
To your son.
She can't prove it. Good job.
Oh!
No contained pass rush again.
No, redo that shit. Y'all look, that wasn't it! That was me! Bro, you better throw that straight, dog.
Yeah, they better throw that up to me.
Alpha.
Yeah, they better throw that up to me.
Let's go, get tight. Doubles, right Connecticut, cold, act, buck 9. Doubles, right Connecticut, cold, act, buck 9. Right?
Buck nice to left, right?
Yep. Connecticut, one corner. Connecticut, cold.
Hey, if they're hard, we move up. So league starts this week.
Mm-hmm.
What's the thought going into league?
We're good. We've had a good week of practice, so I feel good about it. Everybody finished through. Oh, come on. I thought you said you're going to be better than your brother. You can't be last.
Go, get up!
Let's go. Here we go. Back on the line. Ready, set. Let's go. Mill, lead from the front. 5, coach. Just 5.
Come on, Mill, I know you've been sick.
Mill, let's go. No, I feel good.
What's the biggest thing y'all got to worry about this week?
Getting behind. We want to get up. We get up, then we can play a different ball game. They just want to sling the ball around. So I think if we stay ahead of them, they won't. We want them to sling the ball around, but we don't want to be chasing them.
So is this your first taste of actual Washington rain?
Well, besides Friday when it rained at the game, but yes, this is.
And you're still wearing shorts.
Yeah, yeah. It's warm out. It's 60 degrees. Shorts weather stops at like 35, 40.
What do you have to say
He's too
about
worried
that?
about his hair.
Can I get my hamstring steak?
No, time out. She said shorts weather stops at 35 degrees.
If it starts raining, then it's over.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah?
There can still be snow on the ground and you'd still be wear your shorts because it would be warm out.
Well, you're from like Milwaukee or something, so.
I think at first, like, it was hard to comprehend, like, that she was actually moving out here. But I don't think I was worried until, like, she finally left and, like, was moving here and moving all her stuff in. And just, like, how she would, like, get upset because she had no one here and it was just a hard transition and she was scared of, like, struggling with money and all that. So it didn't really hit me until, like, the struggles were coming. But, yeah, I think, like, having you and having, like, the supportive team around her made me and the rest of my family feel a lot, like, more at ease about her moving out here because we knew that she had people that were going to help her.
My name is Samantha Erdman. I'm from Oak Creek, Wisconsin, which is right outside of Milwaukee. Not as big as Lacey, but it's still pretty big.
I don't really ever call her Samantha, but the only time anyone in our family calls her Samantha is when she's getting in trouble. But it's usually, like, not just Samantha, it's Samantha Ashley.
Well, I gotta say my full name. Okay. Yeah.
Because you said it.
No, it's not going on there. I'm just telling you that that's my name. But I go by Sam.
I don't know where we were driving, but we were in the car. She was driving. I was in the passenger seat. It was just me and her. And pulling in the driveway, you know, I wasn't really thinking anything of it. I think she's been driving for a while at this point because I wasn't scared or nervous. So we're pulling up in the driveway. This is the time when we had our dog. And Aspen, that was his name, he comes running. And Sam swears she sees Aspen running towards, like, a rat or a mouse. And so she decides to get out of the car, and the car is still going. And so she realizes it, so she hops back in the car, goes to press the brake, but presses the gas, and she runs into the house. And our parents are sitting on the couch inside the house. And so they come running outside, and they're like, what happened? What happened? And here's Sam in the car, and me in the passenger seat, just halfway in the house, like, dented the side of the house, and I'm just like, what the heck? And so every single time after that, I was just like, she would go to we'd go to a stoplight, and we'd, like, go to stop, and I would act like I was, like, hitting the brake because I was so nervous that we were just gonna keep going. It was awful. That was probably the worst thing that ever happened. And I was just like, how? Like, why? First of all, why did you get out of the car? Like, why? And then she goes and hits the gas instead of the brake, and yeah, it was traumatizing, that's for sure.
Well, so I have a brother and a sister. My sister is a junior in college, my brother is a sophomore in high school, and then I got my mom and dad. Basketball was the main sport for us as a family. My mom grew up playing basketball, and then all three of us played. And then in high school, I did volleyball, basketball, and track.
I think we all were really supportive just because we all constantly had to go to each other's games, and we knew, like, each other's strengths and weaknesses, so, like, it was never an issue, but I think we all had each other's back when it came to that.
Went to college, so it was like D3, so since I missed that opportunity of, like, recruiting, I kind of reached out to the coach and was like, hey, I want to try out for the team, that sort of stuff. So I tried out, and then I played for 3 years at Concordia. Like, with any injury, you go to PT. And so that was my original thought, was like, oh, I want to be a physical therapist. I like this. I get to work with athletes. I get to help people. And I liked science, well, at least anatomy. And then I spent time with my athletic trainer, and that's when I was like, okay, well, to be a PT, you need, like, an undergrad bachelor's degree. So I was like, well, AT is the closest thing to that. So then I applied to, so that's how it got me interested in PT or ATPT. But then going through the program at Concordia, I was like, I don't really want to be a PT. One, I have to go to school for another 3 years. And two, doing the observation hours for like applying and all that stuff, I didn't fully agree with a lot of what PTs do. I like the functional aspects that I can get through athletic training. And one, they weren't seeing athletes. It was like the older population with total knees, just general pain that you have to fix. And not that I don't love old people, but I don't think I could spend 8+ hours with them and being inside. I like the sport aspect of it. I can do the rehab, but then I can go and watch sports. I can be involved with the team.
I knew that she didn't want to go to school after she graduated. And so the whole summer was like her trying to find and apply to jobs just everywhere. She was just struggling, so she was just applying everywhere she could think of. And randomly, I was sitting upstairs in the living room, and she comes upstairs and she goes, "Haley, I just got off the phone, a phone interview, in a job in Washington."
You knew nothing about Washington, and you just...
I knew that Grey's Anatomy was based off of Seattle.
And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, it was so random. Like, I just answered the phone normally, and he's like, blah, 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 this is whatever." And he just started asking me questions, and I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, he wants to fly me out in a couple of days for like an in-person interview." And like this all happened in like a matter of a week. And then next week she was like moving out to Washington, and we were all just like, "Where did this come from?"
Since I went to college only 30 minutes from home, so I lived on campus for 3 years, and then I lived at home for the last 2 just to save money because it was so freaking expensive. And in those 2 years, I realized, I need to get away. And so I was kind of like getting towards that point where we needed to start looking for jobs. We were taking our exam, that sort of thing. I was looking at all out of state. I didn't care where. I was just looking at out of state, anywhere but Minnesota. That's where I was looking. But I was mainly looking in like the South Carolina, Tennessee area. That's where I really wanted to be. But so then our professors would kind of like email us like when job opportunities kind of opened up, if they knew anybody, or we would just get random emails or that sort of thing. And my friend actually, she applied for this job, and my boss was gonna fly her out, and then she and her boyfriend got interviews in Arizona for a job. And then since her boyfriend already got a job in Arizona, she didn't want to take this interview. She wanted to find one more closer or whatever. So she denied it, and then she told me to apply to it. So I did, and then within a week, Bill, my boss, called me, had a phone interview. Then 3 days later, I flew out here, had an in-person interview, accepted the job the next day in the airport. And then a week later, I came out here. So it happened really fast. It happened within like almost a month that everything just kind of fell into place.
So it all just kind of happened really quick. Like, at first she wasn't getting any phone calls back about jobs, and then in a matter of a week, she was moving.
So we were talking to my grandparents, and they're huge travelers. And so they have an RV, and so we talked to them. We put everything in my car and in the trunk of an RV and drove over here.
So what was your first impressions when you got to Timberline and you had to meet Mullen and like that whole thing?
He honestly reminded me of one of my high school football coaches. I was like, wow, you're like spit image of him. Just like the bald head, the like loud voice, like all of that. I was like, oh. But I don't, like right away it was fine. It was kind of intimidating. You don't know him, and he had his daughter and stuff, but it was good. Bill kind of said that just based off of what he knows about me, him and I would get along the best, because I did have the option to go to North Thurston. Bill kind of said both these positions are open, but I think you would get along better with Nick than the AD over at North Thurston. So that's how I ended up at Timberline.
She even told me yesterday or a couple of days ago that she enjoys her job and what she does because she just loves to see like improvement and just being able to help someone and just like their reaction to her helping them, whether it's an injury or personal. So yeah.
They're like my little babies right now. I mean, it's gonna be kind of nice, like the freshman class, it'll be nice to see them grow and see who, like how they develop throughout the next 3 years. But the seniors this year, I think, are a good group. So even just knowing them for, 3 months now, it's going to be hard to see them go. And it'll be a different team next year, but I think the guys that are there will still make an impact. But yeah, it'll be hard.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is John Jensen with Sound Sports Net, welcoming you to another night of Timberline High School Blazers football. Tonight, the Blazers start their South-South 3A conference opener against the Gig Harbor Tides. Last year, Timberline beat the Tides 24-10, and tonight they may look to do it again.
Let's go! Kick off! Kick off! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Game day. They cannot touch.
After a hard-fought defensive battle, the Blazers hold on to win in a close one here. Final score, Timberline 14, Gig Harbor 7. This is John Jensen with Sound Sports Net. We'll see you next time.
First game we played one quarter, one half. The next game we played 3 quarters. Today we learned how to hang on to a win. So now it's learning to, again, put together a complete game, you know what I mean, and not ever put ourselves in that situation. But we fought through adversity. Flags and that stuff happens every game, so you just got to keep building on it.
Yeah, a lot of teams are gonna lay down. Like we didn't lay down at all. Like it was hard fought battle all game. So just making sure that we were all doing our doing our techniques, doing our assignments. I mean, the kids grinded. They worked so super hard. So I'm very proud of them.
Yeah, wins like this define a team. I think. Yeah, you start seeing character for sure.
I feel really good, about today's game. I'm pretty sure they're going to do their best like they always do.
They got a lot on their plate because they don't have as many the skill players they had last year. So now they got to really play as a team.
Finish. Guys got to finish their blocks. Too many guys standing around after the play, so they finish. They've been getting better every week. We're up to 87% of the time all our guys are doing their jobs. So we keep improving on that. Good things are going to continue to happen.
40-yard line, a gain of
Just like every team, they're not going to run inside. The coach,
third 5 now for your Blazers.